Hey trappers, we're back here again, this time in my fur shed. I had a couple requests to do a video on red fox glands, their location on the fox, and how to remove them. We had 12 foxes today, so I'm going to be cutting quite a few glands. We'll get started here. I just want to grab the jars that I need. All right. First off, in my opinion, and most trappers' opinions, and lure makers' opinions, the most important gland on a canid is the anal glands. And this is the vent of the red fox. And on either side of the vent, you can see that is the anal gland right there. There's also one on the other side. Sometimes they're bluish in color. These are kind of red. When you're skinning your fox and making your initial cut around the vent, angle your blade, your knife, or whatever you're using, angle it outwards so that you don't puncture those glands which are on either side of the vent. But after your fox is skinned, I'm going to show you how to get those out. I just kind of pinch the vent right there, cut it free. Now here, you can see those glands really good. There's the one. There's the other one. Like I said, they're usually a little bit more bluish in color. These are more red. Now, what you do not want, also, if there's any fecal matter on the vent, I just use a paper towel and wipe it as clean as possible. You don't want a whole lot of fecal matter in your glands. So, once I have it this far, I do not want all that hair on there. If you're going to rot these glands down, especially if you're going to use it, mix it with urine, or try to make a spiked urine type of deal with glands, that hair will clog your squirt bottle nozzle. So I just use my blade and just trim it. All the way around. Sometimes you miss a little on the bottom, but that's easy to trim right off. Okay. Now there you have a clean vent with the anal glands totally intact. Just kind of cut it free of the tail area. And all you got to do is pull on it. Now, some trappers want just the vent and the anal glands. Some want a little bit of the intestine. So use your fingers and get rid of any fecal matter that's in that intestine. A lot of guys say 6 inches. Cut it free. And there's your vent with anal gland and a little bit of the intestine. Okay, next thing to check for is if you have any urine in the bladder, and we also save the bladder with the glands. Just make a very shallow cut. Sometimes I use my finger to break in there. And there is the bladder. It is empty. It's empty. So we just cut the empty bladder off, put it in with the glands. Now, I wanted to show you this. This fox over here has a full bladder. That's what a full bladder looks like. And we like to save this bladder urine, keep it separate. You can use it on the line. You can use it to mix with your glands. So I will cut this bladder free, drain the urine into this jar. And then put the bladder in with my glands. Okay. As you can see, this is a male fox. It has testicles. So These are really easy to get out. I mean, you don't cut the whole sac and all that out because you don't want all that hair. Like I said, that's terrible for cutting nozzles or clogging nozzles. So just pull back kind of at the base of the penis, and where the testicles start, just make a slit. And when you're pulling, they almost pop out right then and there. But those are the two testicles. Pull those out. Just pull them loose. If you have any hair stuck to them, get rid of it and put them in your jar. All right. Now we are done with the bladder, with the vent and the anal glands and the testicles. Now we start going to find the glands that are situated on the body of this animal. These right here are the hot glands. They're about the size of a pea, and they have a little bit of fat around there. You can see that one really good. Cut out your hot glands. Get a little bit of that fat. That doesn't hurt anything. Now right here are your two neck glands. If you see, kind of at the top of the shoulder on the underside, there's one, there's the other one. There's going to be a little fat around them too, and they're about the same size. They're about pea size. Just cut those right off. That's about how big they are. Those are the two neck glands on the underside. Now, the hot glands which are there and the neck glands, those are surface glands. Those are very easy to see on the surface. Now, there's two more that I take that are a little harder to find. If you look at the shoulder here, right in front of the shoulder, there's that lump. Underneath this tissue, underneath that meat, there's a gland under there. It's about the size of a grape. So you just kind of make a slit, and there is that gland. It's kind of whitish in color. Cut that loose. And if you got a little bit of meat on there, it's not the end of the world. There's the other one. You need to talk, if you're going to sell your glands, you need to talk to the person that's going to be buying them, whether it be a lure maker or whatnot, and ask them which glands they want and how they'd like them cut. But those are the shoulder glands. Okay, lastly are the neck glands. Or I'm sorry, the ear butt glands. If you feel here at the base of the ear and down towards the throat, there's a series of a few small glands. I just cut the whole section out, and you'll a lot of times hit a vein there, and it makes for some blood. Just try to get in as little as possible. See there, you can see one. There's another one behind that big vein. There you can see that gland really well. But like I said, they're a little bloody. All right. Now, some lure makers want some of the internal organs. Which would be, some lure makers ask for the kidneys. These are the kidneys right here. And the liver is right there. And that is the gallbladder. The gallbladder contains bile, and some lure makers and trappers like to mix some of that bile in with their gland lure. I'll show you how to get that out. I just use a syringe. Instead of trying to cut it off, I just put my hand in there. This one doesn't have a lot in it, but I get a little bit out there, and some lure makers they want the liver too mixed in with the gland, so the liver is located right there. Another thing I do is, say every 30 fucks I might put 4 brains in. I'll cut that with a hatchet, put it on a block and cut 1 slit there with a hatchet, and then 2 cuts like that, and open them up like a pair of barn doors and scoop the brains out. Brain is a fatty type material. It helps weatherproof your gland lure a little bit. Now, I'd like to show you, this is a female fox here, and they don't have, obviously, testicles. They have a vagina. I already did cut the anus and the anal glands off of here. I want to show you how we deal with, just kind of cut around the base of the vagina till it loosens up. And then once you have it kind of loosened up, that you start seeing the tubes come out, I just pull on that fur and just trim the fur off, so you're not dealing with that in your glands. And just cut out a little bit and pull. And while you're cutting and pulling, you'll have all that reproductive tract come out. And that's really the only difference between a male fox and a female fox. The female fox, you take the vagina and the reproductive tract. The male fox, you take the testicles. Another thing some trappers do is they'll take these foot pads. I was never one to, I tried it a few times, take a knife or a razor blade and cut these foot pads off. But a lot of times for me, they got caught in the grinder, so I don't bother with them anymore. So yeah, that's basically the glands I take. I'll recap them real quick. The vent with the anal glands, about 6 inches of the intestine, the testicles, the hot glands, the bladder, the neck glands, the shoulder glands, and the ear butts. And if you have any questions, feel free to comment down below. Please subscribe to my channel if you like what you're seeing. Give me a like on this. And hopefully I help some trappers out on how to find the glands and get a little bit more value for their animals, if they'd like to sell the glands to lure makers. Or if you have access to a grinder, you can grind these glands yourself. You can preserve them fresh and make a lure, or you can rot them down, add urine, not add urine. There's 1,000 different ways to make a red fox gland lure, and it's really hard to mess it up. It's very attractive to not only red fox, but pretty much all animals. Raccoon come to a red fox gland lure, all your canines, bobcats, fisher. I've even told otter will be attracted to a red fox gland lure. So till next time, tight chains and have a good one.